Hey, what's going on, Facebook family? Happy Sunday to you. Easy like Sunday morning. Hope you're having a great weekend. Maybe you're sleeping in still. Maybe you got your coffee. I got my coffee here. It's about half done. Nice and relaxed. We got some, you hear those cicadas? Those are hanging out in my oak tree. And it's a great morning. And I was thinking about this past week and the last couple of weeks, really the last 2 weeks. And this is something that was brand new for us, getting our son off to school and packing him up, packing his room, taking him out to school, all that stuff. We were planning all those things for him, and what really fell short for me as I'm reflecting on it was about planning for myself in the week. And this past week even was a struggle. My wife and I were talking yesterday. We were saying, we got to get back on it. We got to get back on the calendar, get back on the schedule. It was something we were definitely off schedule. And I want to share with you 5 simple things that you should be doing Sunday night. They've helped me tremendously. They help a number of my students to prepare for the week ahead. You know, the reality is, you've heard it before. I'm sure you've heard this a dozen times or maybe 1,000 times. Failure to plan is basically planning. Failing to plan is basically planning to fail, right? So I don't know if you've had a struggle week, your last week, maybe your last month, maybe your last year, maybe you really are terrible at planning. I would say I'm much better at planning, but definitely I still struggle with it. But I want to give you 5 simple things that have truly, truly helped me. And I hope that they help you in your pursuit to having a successful week ahead. And this can be related to anything. This actually could be, for if you're on a weight loss journey, or if you're just trying to get your life in order, if you're trying to get kind of organized, maybe you're starting a new job, maybe because your kids are at school, your schedule's changing, maybe you relocated, maybe you moved, maybe you're just trying to get your life on a good path. And the first thing in this whole planning out your week ahead is, honestly, if you don't do this is probably the most important thing. It's what I'm doing right now. I'm reflecting. As I was reflecting, I said, I have to share this with my friends, and with hopes that it helps and gives you value, is to reflect on what happened. I just shared with you what happened this past week. It was really a struggle for my wife and I. We had never brought a kid. We never sent off a kid to school before, to college. We have one kid out of the house, so it was a very new experience for us. And while we did, I think, a pretty good job planning that out, my wife way better than me. I can't take the credit on that. But it was something that our planning for our own lives and my business and our health and all those things definitely kind of got pushed a little bit to the side. And it's okay, but I just have to reflect on it. And that's the very first thing. The first simple thing that you can do on Sunday is to reflect on your weekend, to reflect on your week, not to get down on yourself and feel depressed, but just to acknowledge it. I think sometimes it's easy just to let Sunday come and just kind of avoid what happened last week, avoid what happened in the weekend, maybe Friday night and Saturday night, and then just say, I'll just start fresh on Monday, and you never reflect on it. You don't really learn from maybe some of the mistakes that you made. Maybe you went a little overboard with food or drinks, or maybe you didn't have much of a plan last week and you kind of got stuck, and you maybe are realizing now the scale really didn't do well last week, and I know it's not going to do well on the weekend. I'll just start back on Monday. So I would recommend the very first simple thing is just to reflect. I wrote some notes down on what was going on. I shared with you, and just to reflect. Now, if you have a partner, if you're in a relationship, you're married, I would say is to reflect. If you and your partner are part of the planning process for your week, is to reflect on it together, maybe write it down yourself. But that's the first thing. The second one, in getting the week prepared, like planning out the week ahead here, is to organize your to-do items. So now you might have categories of your to-do items. Maybe it's, hey, good morning to you, Rhonda. Just say who's on here. Kim, let me know if you're on here live too. I appreciate you for being here. Happy Sunday to you. I'm going to make this one pretty quick, the best I can. I got church starting up pretty soon. And so I'm going to make this, let's run through it. If you're catching on the replay, thank you for watching the replay, #replay for me. So I know it does help. It helps. The reason, honestly, people are like, why do you say #replay? Well, it also helps when I know who watches and when you watch. It also helps that it shows to people, because with Facebook, stuff just comes and goes really, really quick. So to get more people, if this is valuable to you, you can share it with a friend as well. You can save it. You can even get notifications when I come on live. I come on live just about every single day. Number 2 is to organize your to-do list in categories. So you might have like your to-do list with maybe you have your chores you do in the house, that sort of stuff. Maybe you have your work to-do list. Maybe then you have your responsibilities, like maybe your family responsibilities. Maybe it's shopping or walking the dog, or, number to clean the house, whatever it is, baking, cleaning or getting your room straightened up, or whatever it is. Mowing the yard. It's kind of funny now. Our yard is needing to be mowed. And my son used to mow it. Now he's not here. So my wife and I are talking, we got to add that on our to-do list. It's got to be on our to-do list. But then also for you. Now, your time. When are you going to put in your time, the things you need? Maybe it's planning, grocery shopping, workout time. You got to organize your to-do list. Get a to-do list ready. And then guess what? Then you're going to number 3. The third simple thing is to do what you can ahead of time. Now, let me just preface and say that this is not meaning you have to plan out every single meal. It doesn't mean you have to have everything perfectly lined up, but the more you plan, the more you do ahead of time. For instance, if you're planning to say, maybe this is one little hack right here. Let's just say you want to eat at home and you want to prepare meals. Well, just make a menu. Literally just write down on a piece of paper before you even go to the grocery store. Just write down what you're planning to have for dinner. Now, for us, what it typically looks like, I'll just share with you and give you an example. Monday through Friday. Thursday night is date night for my wife and I, so we typically go out. It's not always like we don't go out to like a fancy dinner every Thursday night, but we do go out. And our kids know from a while now, it's just Julia, she knows she has to fend for herself. Thursday night, she has to fend for herself. Now, if we have something prepared, then obviously we have it. But for us, it's usually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then one of the 2 weekends. And we may go out on the weekend and we may make something home. Sometimes we eat only 2 meals over the weekends. It just depends on what's going on. So we know we have at least 4 to 5 meals that we're preparing. So Monday we typically get and we grill. I would say is 9 times out of 10 we do some grilling. We do some food prep, like we cook our proteins. We'll get some vegetables. We'll do our shopping typically on Sundays. But again, we won't prepare it all, but sometimes we'll chop up the vegetables to get those prepared. We'll at least have an idea of what we're going to make for the week. And it's not always perfect, but if you just write it out, you can just simply write out dinners Monday through Friday and write that out. So again, do what you can ahead of time. Maybe it's as simple as writing down your dinner plans for the week. Just literally write it down on paper. Again, if you're not planning any of that, chances are it's probably partly why you're struggling with that. So now that's the third thing. Number 4 is, and this is really, really important, especially when it comes to like working out, you need to have a backup plan, and you need to have a backup to your backup plan. So let me just explain what I mean. The backup plan is like, for instance, working out. Okay, I'm going to work out Monday through Friday. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go for a run at 6 a.m., and then Tuesday comes around and you had a rough day Monday. Maybe you're up late at night and you got up late. And then you're like, dang, there goes my Tuesday workout. There goes my Tuesday run. And then it's done. Well, you need to have a backup plan. It'd be important. Now, if you don't think of a backup plan ahead of time, it's going to be easy to blow off your workout. It's the same thing with food. Like, hey, maybe you get stuck at work and you had dinner planned out, you're going to make it, but you got stuck at work late, or you had to go to the kids' practice or grandkids, you had to pick them up, whatever it is, and you didn't get home and make that meal. You need to have a backup plan. And I would recommend, if you're that good in your planning, is to have a backup plan for your backup plan. Does that make sense? So that's the 4th thing. The 5th thing, and this is something that this is something I don't really struggle with, but it is something that I know a lot of people struggle with, is because you're doing for everyone else. Mostly, I would say you moms out there. It's why I actually tend to work really, really well with moms. I would say women, men I work with sometimes. Most men kind of feel like they can do it on their own. Most, not all. They feel like they can work out like they did back in their 20s. You women, you're a little bit more, I would say, more welcoming to get help. But also, as far as taking time, you guys are the ones that struggle the most when it comes to taking time for yourself. Like whether it's meditating or reading or maybe doing some yoga or going for a walk, getting out in nature. Literally like just taking some time away from all the mom stuff you got. Now, dads, I would just say, it's not something that I really struggle with, but I don't think in general a lot of guys struggle with that too much. Moms, that's just in you. It's in your nature. You're used to being the nurturing kind and taking care of everybody else, right? You always are putting on everybody else's masks on first before yourself. I know. I've been working with women for years and years and years, and it's one of the struggles, why you're so busy, why you don't have time to work out, why it's so hard to get in shape. And it's something that if you could just do this, and I'm not talking about take the whole day off. Hey, if you need a spa day or you need a day to yourself or to unwind, or Maybe you just need to get away, for a day or so, something like. I'm just talking maybe 15, 20 minutes for yourself. 15 to 20 minutes just to be quiet, no phones, no social media, no disturbing, no Apple Watches, like to literally just take right now. Now, this isn't just my wife, but my wife right now is out for a walk with a friend, and she purposely, and when we go actually sometimes together, we'll purposely, when I take the dog sometimes, purposely leave my phone at home. No, I don't have an Apple Watch anyway, but some of you guys, you stay connected all the time, and you're not able to actually connect with yourself, if that makes sense. So those are the 5 things. I'll just run through them real quick. Reflect on what you've done from the days, from the last weeks. Reflect on those, kind of actually have a moment to just sit and maybe take some notes down so you can learn from what went well, what didn't go well. Organize your to-do list, your to-do items by category, section that out. Do what you can ahead of time. Again, doesn't mean meal prepping the entire week, but it could be something like getting your workout shoes ready or your workout clothes ready for the next day ahead of time. Have a backup plan and a backup plan to your backup plan. That's number 4. And then take some time for you. Like Sunday could be a time for me. I'm about ready to make some time for God. Again, that's just in my non-negotiables on Sunday morning. And also just to have some time for yourself, to reflect, time to just be quiet, to be silent, and then just to maybe decompress, just to kind of just take in where you're at, and not necessarily being okay or being kind of settled, but just saying, okay, here's what I have. Here's the day. I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has trouble of its own. Today's right now, and I'm going to take care of myself today. So anyway, I hope that helped, and I hope you have an amazing, blessed Sunday. Hey, listen, just on a side note, if you haven't heard, and most of you, if you're inside my Bulletproof Fit Christians Over 40 group, you'll know that I'm doing a sneak peek inner circle. We have an inner circle training in my paid coaching students that they pay for access to me, and we do a live training every Tuesday night. We do everything from a hot seats where they get to jump in and ask questions, and we go over where they're at in their program. We have nutrition. We do talks on nutrition. We also have guest speakers come in. My wife's a nurse practitioner. I have spiritual counselors, advisors, pastors, other people that come in as well as speak. I also talk and do some trainings on fitness and nutrition, workouts and accountability and support, all those types of things, how to get faster results, how to boost your metabolism. Well, the 24th, tomorrow's the 23rd, the 24th on Tuesday night, I'm giving you access. I believe it's almost sold out, but I will say is there occasionally sometimes people won't show up, and I already talked to those people. If you don't show up, I'm not going to let you in the next one. I'm actually giving you a little behind the scenes. You're going to come into our inner circle as we talk about 6 simple ways to get rid of belly fat. I know it seems to be the biggest thing, probably one of the most challenging things when it comes to weight loss, and we're going to do a deep dive in that on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can send me a private message, drop it down below. I want in on the inner circle. You can just drop inner circle below. And if we have space available, again, there might be a wait list already. I believe we're almost sold out. But I'll tell you is if you want to get on the wait list, let me know. Just drop inner circle and I'll make sure you have access. I hope this was helpful. Take care and have a really awesome, blessed Sunday.